Stay fit, have fun, and play rugby. Join our youth rugby program for boys and girls in kindergarten through 8th grade. Learn more at glendaleyouithrugby.com.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your service.
Back at Infinity Park in Rugby Town. Sevens continues. I'm Brian Vizard along with Pete Steinberg, and we have a Shield semifinal featuring the Sacramento Eagles and the U.S. Coast Guard. Pete, what do you like about these two teams?
Well, both of these teams disappointed to lose the bowl quarterfinal as they come in, but they still have a lot to play for, Brian. There is still a trophy to be won. I think if we look at the Coast Guard, we would say they've struggled throughout. They did beat Navy early on in their first matchup, but have struggled as they've gone through the rest of the tournament. I think that the money would be on the Sacramento Eagles. You look at Chad Goff, former All-American, played here last year, and Danny Christensen, the two-time collegiate All-American Sevens player, as players to watch.
Yeah, they put some points on the board. You see our referee, Andrew Stockton. He's in charge of this Shield semifinal battle. And as you and Mark talked about the first game, it is pretty warm here in the early stages. It's only going to get hotter, both on the field rugby-wise and temperature-wise. And we should have a real good one here between the Sacramento Eagles, who like to throw the ball around, and this U.S. Coast Guard team. I don't think the heat will bother those guys. They've been out in the sun all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Sacramento kicks off high and deep. That was knocked on. Was it in touch on the full? It was in touch on the full. Well, let's see. They're trying to figure it out. Looked like the assistant referee said it was out on the full. But I think the referee is going to overrule, and it's going to be a line out to Sacramento. It will be Chad Goff throwing in. They had the scrum. Yeah, they had the option. I think they like to go for the scrum.
When there's a knock on and the ball goes out of bounds, the new law says that there's an option that the team can have. They can choose a scrum or a line out. Should have let it go. Oh, that's a
crouch.
Interesting call.
Yeah,
Interesting call there.
Yeah, I think that was over the line
Set.
anyway. Here we go, Jim Moulay putting in for Sacramento. Danny Christensen right behind the scrum. He's been a live wire for the Sacramento team throughout the weekend. Holongnada gets it out wide. Cooley, he has been the power runner for this Eagles squad. That ball got kicked into touch. Did it go off a Sacramento player there? No. Chad Goff with a quick line out. And here come the Eagles. Christensen out wide. Christensen sees a little gap. He's got the inside support. Can't find him. That was Kasuga. Kasuga gets it out now. And here comes Sacramento all the way across the field again. Back inside, good run again by Pei Cooley. On the outside, it's Goff. Goff is just, he's got a little bit of work to do. Can he ground it? I think he twisted just enough to ground it for the first try of this match.
Time off. No, time off.
Oh, I think the referee's going to check.
Do you have a clear grounding for me?
Grounding looked good. I'm more than happy to check it if you want.
Okay.
I think they're...
Get a clear grounding? I'm pretty sure we have a try.
Clear grounding.
All right.
Yep, try is awarded. A minute 40 in, we get our first try of this Shield semifinal.
Great work there by Stockton to check with both ARs to see if there was a clear grounding. You'll see really good defense here. I actually thought the Coast Guard defending this play really well, but when the ball came out to Goff, it was a bit of a one-on-one. He steps off his right foot, puts his head down, gets over, twists and turn, and a nice try, but that all comes from the initial kickoff where the Coast Guard have not been able to get out of their half. And what a kick from all the way on the edge.
Beautiful conversion by Isoa Donaldson. He has the extras to make it 7-0 in favor of this Sacramento team. Yeah, Sacramento, they got hammered by the Collegiate All-Americans first up, but then they beat Bermuda, lost a heartbreaker to Washington AC 29-28, and then lost consecutive games to Denver and the Misfits. Beautiful take by Goff. Could be the take of the tournament so far. And that's going to set this Eagles team free on the outside. Oh, good tackle, though. Referee blew the whistle, unfortunately for the Coast Guard.
What a great take. I mean, the
no.
kickoff is such an important restart, and the Eagles are demonstrating here the skills to be able to take the ball. And I think what you'll see here is the timing of Goff coming in from the outside. He gets his body on the other side of the ball. That's blocking out the Air Force player, and then just a wonderful take. But unfortunately ends up with a knock-on. Great opportunity here for the Air Force. First time with the ball in their hands to get out of their half.
Set.
Yeah, Goff, one of the best restart takers in this tournament, as he's exhibited time and time again. Vinkovic is the wheels on this Coast Guard team. He gets bundled though quickly wrapped up. Coast Guard is gonna, they tried to get it away from trouble, couldn't do so. Good quick defense by Sacramento. Is that a knock-on? Referee said play on. Good run by Coast Guard. Cooley with a tackle. Just still inside their own 22-meter line. They haven't been outside their 22-meter line yet. Vinkovic with a little toe ahead. Oh, he picks it up. He's got the speed. Vinkovic against Christensen. Christensen just lining him up. Oh, Christensen does a really good job. Get back on his feet, does Vinkovic. Great defensive effort by Danny Christensen. Prevents a try for now. Keep Coast Guard come back. Ball goes backwards. Goff with a tackle. Still one-on-one. Shield semifinal, but still plenty to play for. Oh, just lost in the tackle. I think the Coast Guard player inadvertently kicked that right to Sacramento. Look at Danny Christensen. He is just all over the place for this Eagle squad. Running from the shadows of their own line. There's the Eagles. Here's Cooley on the outside. He's got a player on each side. Oh, he's got a player to his left as well. Cooley, he knows one way. That's straight ahead. The little step back inside by Donaldson. Donaldson one-on-one with Vinkovic, and Vinkovic just gassed out from that last effort. And Isoa Donaldson scores the Sacramento Eagles' second try of the day.
Well, so you have to feel for Vinkovic there. He had the kick, beautiful kick and gather. He ran 100, maybe not 100 meters, Brian, but it was probably 90 meters all the way down. Got caught, great tackle by Christensen. At the breakdown, Coast Guard kicked the ball forward. Really unfortunate, but then a great opportunity. And Donaldson, who's demonstrating a class in both with ball in hand and with his foot, comes here, you'll see, gets the ball, shows it, steps through, and then look at the offload, and then is just easy. Makes it look so easy. You're not sure what gear he got into. Vinkovic was there, but just not able to keep up. And then Donaldson finally gets the score. Heartbreaker for the Coast Guard there.
Yeah, they had a good opportunity. Their lone penetration so far in the Sacramento Eagles half nearly paid off. But as it was, a 90-meter effort by the Eagles turns things around, increases their lead to 14-0. Just about a minute left in this first half. That's going to go straight into touch. Going to be a short arm penalty at the midway.
So the downside of having an attacking kickoff that you can go get the ball back is you've got to sometimes put up with short kicks too long. But here's the chance for the Coast Guard. They showed a little bit of a kick through might be the way to beat this Eagles defense.
Trying to get back in this ball game, trailing 14-0. John Curtis starts it out. Goff trying to keep him up in the tackle. That was Daniel Kellum, mustache. Now trying to get the ball to Vinkovic. Vinkovic in the middle of the field. Oh, just a little short on that pass. Short-armed it did Carlton Marshall as well. And that's probably going to be the half. Well, no, we still got 30 seconds. One more effort here by Sacramento.
So I think what we're seeing from the Coast Guard is when they go forward and they go hard, they create the opportunities, but their skills just aren't quite able to hold up to the pressure that the Eagles are placing on them, and we saw that with that catch pass going to ground.
Here's the Eagles now with another chance. Jim Moule going to put this ball in for the Eagles. He's got Danny Christensen and the fly half position. And been really impressed with Danny Christensen, not the biggest guy out there. He lived in Fiji for 2 years, serving his mission. So very familiar with the flair of Fijian rugby. There's Jim Moule trying to outdistance the cover defense, able to outrun Joseph Rizzardi for the third Sacramento Eagles try. And that looked a little too easy as well, Pete, right around the fringe.
It did look a little too easy. That is the role of the hooker, to defend that close spot on the left side. the hooker has to get out very quickly to cover that space. Moulet saw that the hooker was not coming out. You see the little wheel, the hooker's trying to get out and he got stuck. So, you know, you've got to look at your binds there. You've got to be able to get out, and great vision there by Moulet to be able to see that the hooker was not there and get the score.
Yeah, see, they're lining up for a kickoff, man.
So Donaldson is perfect once again with his conversion, 3 for 3 in the first half. And that's going to take us to the first half break with Sacramento Eagles out in front of the U.S. Coast Guard, 21-0.
Rugby Town Sevens is brought to you by Bonnie Bray Liquor. We deliver straight to your front door, wine, beer, and spirits.
Bodies on defense, right? And on offense, we've got to get bodies to our bodies when we go down. Yep. Right? On the kickoffs, if we get a ball over the top, we've got to get down and cover in their back line. Yep. Okay? What's our two options here on kickoffs? Steal or press. Kickoff, steal or press. Restart. Counter or rhino. Counter or hammer, right? Here we go, okay? No changes at this time, but look for a couple impact subs to come shortly after that, all right? How much more you got? Go, boy.
Guys, they're not, hey, listen up. They're not significantly better.
Okay, interesting discussion there by the Coast Guard. Obviously, a big talk about the restarts. It's been a problem. 2 restarts that they received ended up with tries, and they really need to hold on to the ball. But it all started off with former All-American Chad Goff scoring. They were able to recycle the ball. The ball comes to the right, and look at the effort by Goff. Puts his shoulder down, steps in, drives over, works to get that ball down for the opening score. And then it's the offload in the tackle that puts Donaldson away, and he's nice and easy. Just the guy from Fiji takes it nice and easy. We have to remember that Vinkovic had run about 200 meters by the time he was stepped. And then right at the end, a bit of a backbreaker here, I think, for the Coast Guard as Moulet sees the hooker doesn't come out, puts his foot down around the edge of the scrum, can't be caught from behind by Rizardi, and
Eagles captain, we good?
3 tries to none.
Very impressive display by the Sacramento Eagles in that first half. Let's see what the Coast Guard has in store in the second half. Vinkovic kicking off for the Coast Guard. Nice high kick, maybe a little too deep. 22-meter line. Oh, bounces off his chest though.
Advantage, knock on.
Knock on, playing advantage, and here comes Jethro Hauser. Jethro Hauser, just fresh legs on the lineup. He's been one of the stars of this Coast Guard team for many, many years, and Jethro Hauser gets his team on the board quickly here, right back in the ballgame.
Absolutely, exactly what the Coast Guard needed. A mistake by the Eagles on the kick receipt. They let it bounce, created the knock-on. They had the advantage, and what a great start here. You can see very, very poor kickoff. It came off the chest. Beautiful play. They saw the space. Hauser got the ball, and I think you're right, Brian. I think it was the fresh legs able to push off the defender and score exactly the start the Coast Guard needed if they wanted to get back in this game.
Yeah, Jethro Hauser, again, fresh legs and also a very talented player. They could do without that. They don't turn their backs. Chad Goff, that's a live ball. Chad Goff took it across midfield. Sacramento Eagles now trying to attack, settle it down. Pay Cooley, just looking at his options. And again, these guys are so good. Oh, the little flip back inside, maybe too nonchalant. But Donaldson gathers, looking for Cooley. There's Cooley. It's a 3-on-2 on the left-hand side if they can find that space. Again, a bad pass slows things down. Danny Christensen with the ball to Goff. Goff trying to find a little seam. Oh! Danny Christensen was flying down that left-hand side, just couldn't control the ball. There's Cooley again. And Cooley, this is what he does so well in the middle of the field. Just set it up, stays on his feet, keeps his hands free. And Chad Goff does the same with Danny Christensen. Christensen's gonna have a free run now. That's a tired Coast Guard team out there. And Danny Christensen dots down for the Eagles' 4th try.
Well, when a team is holding onto the ball, they're stopping and starting. They were really making the Coast Guard work hard to continue to rebuild their wall. But if they're standing there, there's no pressure there from the Coast Guard, Brian. It makes it just too easy. all the little offloads that are there, all the little movements. You can see Donaldson gets it. He's slowing down. Not much pressure. Goff gets the ball out to Christensen, breaks the tackle of Vinkovic, but by that point, Vinkovic was dead and Christensen scores, and I think that is the game. All comes back to the missed kickoff by Vinkovic at the start. That's where you look, is that source of possession that gave the ball. And just like you said, Brian, don't turn your back.
Yeah, that's away from him.
Chad Goff picked it up and played, and that's what got Sacramento into that attacking position.
Well, the Coast Guard, they have a number of supporters in the stands. Jerry Gallion and Gino Edgate, an old teammate of mine, amongst that crew. So they have the support here, trying to rally their troops from this 28-7 deficit. Still got a little bit of time, but it's mandatory they score next.
Time off, sub.
Trailing by 3 converted tries just to tie this match up. It's a big ask. Let's see if the Coast Guard are up to it. Here's a high kick again to Goff. Times it perfectly again. Uses that body so effectively. That's a good big body. And he's going to score here as well, I think. 1 meter short. Christensen there, but there's nobody out. Oh, boy.
Ball's offside.
Oh, they want a yellow card out of this.
I don't need you guys. 10.
He doesn't need the extra ref, but he is going to reach.
Should have played the ball offside.
He is reaching. What a play by Goff, though. That started the whole thing.
Absolutely.
He uses his body so well, Pete, on these things.
It was a beautiful kick receipt,
Johnny,
but here they're going to go.
Yeah, Goff, don't be surprised if he just keeps it himself. There he goes. Can he spin again? Just like the first try, he uses that big body to spin that ball out.
Well, with a player in the sin bin, it becomes very, very difficult to defend. And Goff had the ball, and I think you called it, Brian. I think everyone in the stands knew it. He earned that try with the kick receipt and the run. And the penalty is so you can see that the Curtis comes around, and he says, well, the ball's out. But even if the ball is out, it's still a tackle situation. You have to come through the gate. Definitely a penalty. And then Goff, for the second time, twists and turns, gets the ball down for his second try of the game.
Yeah, it was funny on that penalty. Even though Goff tapped it, there was 2 Coast Guard guys right in front of him. You still knew he wasn't going to pass. All right, now the mission is probably too much. It'd be 4 scores for this Coast Guard team.
More subs.
They haven't put a whole lot of points on the board throughout their tournament so far. So Sacramento looks in pretty good shape.
2 coming off?
Now getting some of the players a rest. Donaldson's coming off.
Well, it's hot here. It's going to be a hot day. I mean, I think it's the hottest day of the tournament so far. So resting legs.
There goes Goff, and as you mentioned, you got to have a head start. He started about 7 or 8 meters back of that midfield line, just times it perfectly. That time, though, the kick a little too deep. Vinkovic gets plowed in that tackle. Christensen picks up.
Go off feet. Stay up.
But Sacramento called for losing their feet. Here comes Jethro Hauser outside the 22-meter line. One-on-one. Christensen, not the biggest guy, but doesn't miss many tackles. Hauser, that long pass to Vinkovic. Just going deeper. Mishandled by the Coast Guard. The pressure comes on, but Coast Guard does well now to bust outside, past the midfield. Good speed it is. Looking for support now. Vinkovic coming through. Vinkovic stretching the legs is going to outdistance Christensen here. And the Coast Guard, a nice team try. That gets their supporters happy.
Beautiful try there. All started by the drop ball and the bad pass. That's always dangerous for the defense. They relax. And then you can take advantage of it, but it's really Vinkovic who has been the star for the Coast Guard this weekend. He is the do-all player. So dropped ball, ball goes backwards, defense relaxes, Gekas gets the ball, breaks the tackle, goes through, and what I love about this is, look, he's looking around, he's looking for an options. He knows he is not going to get it. Makes a beautiful pass and a wonderful angle here by Vinkovic to go round Christensen and score a well-deserved try.
That was a nice try by Coast Guard. Their second of the day. 1 minute left in this Shield semifinal. Match 51 out of 62. Yeah, both teams emptying their benches here. Good thing it's going to be a hot day, as you mentioned, Pete. It's a long day. It's been a long weekend. Nice high kick taken well. Coming down for the Eagles. Cutting back in. Oh, nice run that time by Lesotho Tayoni. Tayoni getting inside the 22-meter line. That pass ruled backwards, and it looks like it's going to be a try for Nico Kasuga. Nico Kasuga does well, teaming up well. Good support on Tayoni. And it's Nico Kasuga to dot down yet another Sacramento Eagles try.
Fresh legs coming off the bench, making it very, very difficult for this tired Coast Guard team to defend. And Tayoni takes the ball, takes a step, takes another step, both of his right foot. Now right here, he could have made the pass. Should have just made the pass. Actually, good defense and cover defense to come back there by Yost.
And that's gonna wrap up this game.
And Kasuga finishes it
51. And we have the Sacramento Eagles defeating the Coast Guard 40-12.